Okay?
Yeah.
So we're here today to do a review of these fluorescent light bulb replacements. They're LED bulbs. And I'm going to show you this thing. It's called RGB YLED IISON. That's the name of the company, the name of the bulb. Kind of a crazy name, but that's what they're called. Got these bulbs on Amazon, and the features of these bulbs are that they're very versatile. They allow you to adjust the brightness and the color temperature, and it also allows you several different ways to use them within a light fixture. So I'm going to show you what I did and why I did it. So the first thing would be this fixture. This is the first fixture I worked on. This light fixture hasn't been working for a few years. It would come on occasionally. The ballasts were dying, and it was getting worse and worse to the point where it really wasn't working at all. So I decided to get some LED replacements, and I knew that I was going to have to rewire it because or replace the ballast, and it doesn't make any sense to replace ballast, which are going to use extra power, if you're just going to be running LED bulbs. It allowed you two different ways to wire them for LEDs. One was single end, which I ended up doing here, or double end, where, well, we'll start with this light fixture because I did them all differently. This one I decided I'm going to do single end. It makes the most sense. So what happens is, with single end, you put the line on one end of the electricity and the neutral on the other. And it doesn't matter on these bulbs which one you connect it to, as long as they're different, line and neutral. And it doesn't matter which end of the bulb you use, but you just use one end, not both. And line and neutral, that completes the circuit, and the bulb gets its power. This is with ballast bypass. You have to take the old ballast out and rewire this. So what I ended up doing with this fixture is I took the fixture down out of the ceiling. That was necessary because I couldn't get to all the wires that were connecting the terminals on the sockets. And in order to prevent the two terminals for being connected together, there were certain wires that had to be cut in order to break that circuit between left and right terminals. So if you look at these things, I color-coded where I put the line terminals on the right side. I made them red, left side green, and that works fine. And you can see that there's only one bulb in here now, although you could put a total of 4 bulbs in here. And in contrast to the way my fluorescent ballast fixture was working, the bulbs wouldn't work unless you had both bulbs of a ballast connection connected simultaneously. Here, you can use one bulb, 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. They'll all work just fine. Okay, so I ended up on this bulb and on this fixture, depending on, how bright I wanted it. I put it at 15 watts right in the middle, and 5000 K, which is considered daylight. You can go as low as 3000 K color temperature, or 6500 K, which is very bright white. And again, I used something in the middle for here and 2 bulbs. Okay, so that was a real pain in the ass because we had to take the whole fixture down. The darn thing's heavy. It had heavy ballasts in it. And then I didn't have direct access to the attic, and had to find new holes next to a stud to put the fixture back up. Real mess. This fixture was acting flaky too, and it would sometimes come on right away, and other times it would sit there for a few minutes before it would come on. So I said, oh, what the heck, I'll just replace these too. But then I realized in doing that if I were going to put a double-ended wiring, in which case, when you do that, you wire one side of the bulb. Well, this is the old fluorescent bulb. Let's get the LED bulb. You would do line on one end, neutral on the other end for both of these. And it doesn't matter which end you put the line or the neutral on, as long as one end has line, one has neutral. And they work just fine wired that way too. And the reason why I decided to do this one double-ended was, in doing it that way, I didn't have to take the whole fixture down. I didn't have to access that wire that was jumping the two terminals on each side. And I could tie all the wires coming from one end into one wire nut, including a jumper wire nut, or a jumper wire connected to that same wire nut, to plug into the wires coming from the power source, the electric supply. The other side of the fixture, all the wires tied into one wire nut, jumped to the other side. So like line, neutral, line side, neutral side. That's it. And again, I didn't have to remove or take the fixture down to do that. I was able to do everything from right up there. Now this one, the brochure said that you could even leave the ballasts in. And this fixture's been turning on and off and working fine. And it didn't say it would work with all ballasts, and my particular rapid start ballast was not listed, but I thought, well, let me give it a try and see what happens. So I left the ballasts in originally and put the bulbs in, and they worked, quote unquote, but one bulb was much brighter than the other one, which didn't make any sense because they were both set to the same wattage and color temperature. So, you know, I knew that wasn't quite right, so I said, let me just bite the bullet. I rewired the fixture as double-ended, like that one over there. So line on one end, neutral on the other end, all the wires put in parallel together, connected on this end, all the wires of that end connected together, line, neutral. The fixture itself is, the ground wire goes to the metal of the fixture. As soon as I did that, the bulbs, which were previously, when going through the ballast, bright, dim, were now equally bright. Solved the problem. So, to summarize, we go down, make sure I got everything here. It doesn't matter whether you have T8 or T12 bulbs, although these are sized as T8s. These are T12s. You can see they're wider in diameter. It matters on the kind of ballast you have, whether it's going to be compatible. Better yet, get rid of the ballast, rewire your fixture, and you're set. And then you can just dial in the brightness you want, the color temperature you want, and you're set. These things, you know, supposed to last 50,000 hours. They're probably going to live longer than me. So I think I'm good for that. See anything else? No, I think that's about it. I hope you found the video useful and informative. Thanks for watching.